Hi, welcome to the Shelly Studio. Today I thought it was about time I did some jelly printing. I am doing it with some leaves. This is actually from my sister's flower arrangement she got from work. I stole some of the leaves. It was past its prime. They're getting a bit dry, but I picked the ones that looked the most pliable. Though they're still pretty stiff. And thought I would just do some jelly printing. I think I've maybe done one or two leaves, but I've never really just done a session using leaves. So I thought it would be fun to really go to town and do some of these. And I needed a break from everything else. So yeah, we're going to do some jelly printing. And I'm really sorry, I did not write down the colors I used. I think the blue is indothyronine blue, because that's like my favorite dark blue, and I probably would have started with that. It's not black, even though it looks really dark. And it's very dry here right now, so that got really dry before I could pick up the excess paint. So this is going to be fun. I didn't even have to wait for it to dry. It was dry. And yeah, I do have this sped up a little bit, but I was moving fast. I have to move fast here anyway. I live in a desert. So I'm not in Arizona, I'm in Utah, but it's still pretty dry here most of the time. Except for when it snows. Well, it's still dry. You get dry in the winter, even with snow. So I added some, I think it's Indian yellow. I'm gonna guess. Like, I'm just playing. I just grabbed one of my piles of paint and thought, these look like good colors. We'll use these. And I've got my big, I don't even know what size that plate is. It's huge. For me, it's huge. Covers my whole little table. I don't even have a spot to brayer off my paint, which I'm going to have to deal with that. Yeah, so that left a hole, but I'll just cover it with paint. It's no problem. Yeah, I'm kind of liking the interesting patterns from those fern type leaves. They are really cool. I think that had a little potential. This is broken into two parts because I spent a long time and my iPad that I'm using doesn't have the memory capabilities of doing the full 2 hours, even though I condense it down, to an hour or less. Just doesn't have the capacity to hold it. So this is probably, I don't know, ochre color. I know, it's terrible. I think I have burnt sienna and burnt umber there, so it might be burnt sienna. One of these days, I'm going to swatch my paints and write them down so I know what they look like dry. Because I think that would help me learn my colors. Like, I could do it by brand. I have so many paints. I saw on, is it Jerry's Artorama? They have a swatch pad, like a sketchbook. It's a swatch book. I'm gonna get me one of those one of these days. Alright, so that one worked a little bit better. It's more of a soft body than a heavy body, so it stayed a little bit easier to lift the excess color off of. And yeah, now I've got a spot to brayer. Just barely. Oh yeah, this one I had that brown down and then I just brayered the orange over and it pretty much obliterated the brown. If I look at the print, no, you really can't even see it. It's gone. Well, there might be a little shadow of part of it. But then I did this orange over it, and that's just the dominant color. You'll see in the print. And at the end of the 2 videos, I'll do a flip through of everything. I'm doing sort of a pause on each print, except for this pickup print. But at the end of the 2 videos, I will do a flip through of everything. So you can see you can't even see the brown pretty much anymore. I just obliterated it. I don't know if I thought I would get a layer. I don't know what I was thinking I would get. I think that's like a phthalo green and still that Indian yellow. I know that's an interesting combination, but I was just playing, just going for it. It's actually that green, the print is kind of granular. I don't know if that happened in the print or if I got it wet afterwards. I'll have to look and see on this video. But it's very grainy, the green is. Yes, and I want to make sure it picks up everything, so I give my prints a good massage. I'm not quite like P&M Artist Studios where they leave it to dry. I only have 1 plate, and if I want to keep playing... Oh, it really did do that. It's got that big smear right in the middle of the green. Anyway, interesting. I think I was pointing out that you could see a little bit of the brown up there in the corner, but not much. I want to say that's quinacridone red orange, but I'm no promises. And this one piece of copy paper is getting a lot of work. And my deli paper. I always show those at the end in the flip through too, just in case you're interested in seeing what kind of mess they end up to be. Trying to get as close to those stem things as possible. I think I have a picture of the plants after the whole jelly session. I will try to make that my thumbnail, so if you saw a pile of leaves in the beginning, that was... I found the photo. I think that's light yellow hue and Indian yellow, and I already had green on my brayer, so there's a lot of green. And if I'd have blended that better, I would have liked it better. It has kind of a yellow splotch in the middle where the paint, where you put the blob of paint down. I don't like blobby. I like smooth. With the blobs on the top and the green top area that was going to be light yellow. I don't mind those blobs, but the big Indian yellow blobs, nah, I'm not a fan of. But I like the pattern that the leaves created on this one. The green at the top looks like the bokeh effect, but the center not so much. think this might be ultramarine blue, but don't get mad if I'm wrong. It's hard to tell on the print because you do layers, so the blue's got, I put yellow on next, and so it darkens it, so it's hard to tell on the print in the end. Yeah, I didn't edit out all my gel print massaging. I normally edit that out a little bit, but oh, that's getting interesting. But I didn't want to take the time to edit. Thought that would leave some paint, but no. The paint on the leaves are dry immediately. Still. I think I was trying to decide what color I was going to use, maybe? Oh. Don't tell my nephew I used one of his paintings to brayer my paper. To brayer my paint. To roll off my brayer. I can't even speak today. This one's just a bright yellow. Oh my gosh, it's so bright. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these papers. They were just fun. Oh, and the next episode, the second half, I start getting into some jewel colors and some metallics. I think I got tired of the blue, yellow, and browns. I'm watching myself do this. I'm like, gosh, what is she doing over there? Probably picking out some paint. This one, I'm trying to remember what I did. Oh yes, I used my pickup one to pick up around this one leaf, and then that can be a finished one. There we go. Just interesting, right? And then I'm going to take the yellow one and put that blue leaf right on top of it. That's me rustling through my prints because I've got them next to me as I'm going. Interesting, right? Okay, if I've got these in the right order, the next one I really like. And it's more normal. Or subtle. Alright. Going for blue again. Can't help it, it's my favorite color. Trying to get a good ombre this time. Still have a little bit of blotches, but it's not as noticeable. And we're just going to put these... I don't even know what plants these are. They use them in floral arrangements. Now this time, we are going to... well, register it. Like where we leave a part of it down so that it's... in the same place. You'll see. Okay. So once I get it all around the edges really well, make sure I push those thick stems down. Like, you can't even tell. These papers don't even feel bent anymore. Well, you can see it if you look at the back. Because this is just copy paper. Needs to be a little bit flexible. See, I'm going to leave it attached, pull those out, and then put it back down. Yep, this is my favorite. And it's blue, which is, you know, a favorite color of mine. I used to say blue was my favorite color. It is my favorite color, but I like lots of colors now. A lot more than I used to. And that looks a lot brighter on the screen than it does in person. It's a little bit more subtle in person. I think I'm getting carried away with the paint. Well, I think because it was so dry, I decided I was juicing up the plate a little bit more. Just because how everything was drying so fast. Just thought it would be best. I do have some sample open paints, but I don't really have a set of open paints. I'm going to give this one some background texture. Again, just using the deli paper to get the edges so I don't get it all over my hands. That stuck a little bit too much. Yeah, the backgrounds of the backsides of my papers are not pretty. I've always got something. Alright, I think we've massaged it enough. So I'm going to do the same thing. Pull out the leaves and put it back down and hope we get a good print. And I like this one too. Of course, it's blue. I just like the look of the print and then pulling out the leaves and finishing the print. I just think it's cool. Trying to clean that up a little bit. I think in the end I take some, I don't remember, but I think I take some packing tape to the edges to clean off my gel plate. That was a lot of that Indian yellow. I'm going to bring in my little, I think it's a shelf liner, actually. Looking at the print I made with this, you can, if you look really hard and you know that I put these branches down, you can see them a little bit. But, yeah, if I'd have used even stronger contrast color, it might have worked better. But I went for the red-orange, the Quinacridone orange? Red-orange? I don't even know. And some orange. Okay, you've given it a massage long enough. Come on. See? You can hardly even see it. set that aside. It'll get something else later. If I don't do it now, I think it gets something else later. More orange. I must have been in love with the orange. Oh, this time I'm picking it up with the deli paper. Oh, now I'm adding paper. I think I try really hard to get everything except for the leaves on this one to lift up. Alright, and here we go. Oh, that's a nice looking fern. So I decided it would be fun to add just little bits of color. And so I just dabbed it on with my fingers. It looks okay on the big fern where it's got more red, but the ones that are lighter, it doesn't really work so well anyway. And we're going to go for contrast, so I'm putting blue. Sorry, apparently I had to go hunting for that tube of paint. Alright, put that one down. Now, I have packing paper. I should, you know, from things I've received, I should cut a piece big enough for that gel plate so I can just put one piece of paper over my copy paper. This is one that could have benefited from sitting for longer. There you go. It's kind of interesting. Like the colors combination there. Tasty. So do y'all like jelly printing? Well, about like how long are we into this now? 20 minutes. I hope you like jelly printing if you're sitting here watching this. I just think it's so much fun. And I love to mess around with stuff. And see what I can come up with. I'm not sure why I put the yellow down and then decided to go over it with orange. I'm pulling out a fresh piece of deli paper. Those plants never really got flat. I think it's because they were kind of dry to begin with. That one actually is a little juicy. I think I leave it to dry for a little bit. Of course, edited for YouTube. Didn't make you sit through waiting for that. So you see how that was bright orange? Just watch when we lift that up, because you remember I put that yellow down first. And then I put the orange on. And then the blue and the... I think it's green. It's hard to tell until you lift it. Okay, come on. Flip it over, flip it over. See, look at that. You can hardly even tell there's any orange in that. And it was so bright. Alright, I think there is one more to go in this batch, and then it will be to be continued in the next one. So I've pulled out some Quinacridone Nicoazo Gold. And we're just going to tint this a little bit so it's less white. And I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment. Thank you all for watching. Have an awesome day.